Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video, we're going to be using this data set that's on the screen here. It's the video game sales data set from Kaggle. There's a link to that data set in the description below. And what we're going to pivot from wide to long are the sales columns. So what I mean by a wide data set is that we have a separate column for each of a particular category. So in this case, we have North American sales, European sales, sales in Japan, and then other sales. And really, those are just regional sales. So we could combine all four of those columns into one column that we call region that would hold all of that information, but allow us to work with the data much easier, say group by the region and the platform, or group by the year in the region, to see how sales across these regions have changed over time, or how these sales are broken down by particular platforms like Wii or Xbox. So in order to do this, all we're going to use is the pivot longer function from the tidyr package. So I'm just going to call this regional sales, and we're going to take our raw data set here, and let me move this down. And so when we have this here, the one thing I like to do with all my data sets is I don't like capital letters, so I'm going to just make these lowercase. And so to do that, I'm just going to use the rename with, and we're going to use the toLower function just to show you what that looks like when we do this, regional sales. We see that now instead of all these uppercase letters, we just have lowercase. I just find lowercase letters easier to work with. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use, again, this pivot underscore longer function from the tidyr package, which comes in the tidyverse. So when we do this, we need to specify what columns do we want to be pivoting from wide to long. And so here we specify the calls argument, and we can do NA underscore sales, and then we can just do a colon to other sales. And what this is going to do is it's going to select everything from the NA sales column to the other sales column. And so it's going to select all four of these columns here. And then what we need to specify also is a names too. So what do we want all of these columns to be collapsed into a column? What name do we want to give the column that we're collapsing them into? And so I'm going to call it region because I think region makes the most sense. And then our values to argument is what do we want the values to go to? So 41.49, 29.02, where do we want that? These are sales. So I'm going to call this sales. So if we take a look at regional sales now, take a look at this data set, we see that we've got the name, right? We've got all this stuff before, but now we see that we've got all of our data here. So we've got the region. So we've got NA sales, EU sales, JP sales, and other sales. And then we've actually got what those values are per sale. So we could theoretically just do something, and I'm just going to, let's say we want to see most sales by region, right? So we can take these regional sales and we can group by the region, and then we can summarize total sales is equal to the sum of our sales column. And then we can look at the most sales by region, and we see that, we see EU sales has 24, right? And then let me do this real quick. Let me arrange, and we're going to arrange in a descending order of the total sales column. So then let's take a look at the most sales by region. And we see North American sales are the highest, EU sales are the second highest, and then Japanese sales, and then all other sales are the lowest. So there's obviously a lot more that we can do with this, but in this video, we took this data set from being a wide data set with all of these separate columns for the different regions to a long data set where there is just one column that holds all of the values for these regions and the sales that those regions had for that particular title. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please be sure to like and subscribe. And if there's anything that I haven't covered yet that you want to see me cover about working in R, please let me know in a comment below. I'll see you guys in the next one.